how about next, a market update? So let's talk about some of the actual numbers that we've seen. And I'm going to, it's kind of a hybrid market update. I'll give you all of Texas, and then I'm going to go over DFW specifically. The other three major markets have not reported yet. And the numbers that you see here for Texas, just to be clear, they're the July numbers because I think they're still adding up all of the data. Some of the final data will be out probably by this week. So if you check us out on our Facebook Live or our YouTube channel, you guys can, by next Tuesday, you'll be able to see what the August final numbers were. But I'll go ahead and go over the two major slides so you guys know what to expect. All right, so the sales price for all of Texas last month, $423,000, up 9%. So again, last year this time we were looking up 19%. Now we're up 9%. The good news that I have to share with you today, as my pastor always says, is that number is still positive, right? And that number looks way better than what we're seeing in many of the other markets, specifically the stock market. So real estate has been a safe haven. Days on market, about neck and neck versus where they were the same time last year. Closed sales last month were down 16%, 16%. Buyers basically said, I'm going to take my toys, my down payment, and I'm going to go home. And I'm going to go rent. So in many of the markets we've seen rent go, number of rents go up, including this Dallas market as well. Active listings. So last year, the same time, we had about 57,000 active listings. This year, over 83,000 active listings. Even over month, it went up 13,000, which is a huge jump. So we're kind of in this like, whoa period, like we're kind of like matrix slowing down, okay? So you still have a lot of the sellers that are still out there, and you're starting to see them drop prices, but you're starting to see some of the sellers say, you know, this is not working out the way that I thought it was going to when I was thinking about listing my house 6 months ago. So you're going to start to see more expired listings and or withdrawn listings, and you're starting to see more properties that are reducing their price. And in some of these cases, these are big reductions. I have not seen this word used in the agent remarks in the MLS in a long time. What are some of the words we're seeing that agents are marking in the MLS now? Motivated. What did you say? I'm sorry. Were you calling my name? Those are exciting words for us as real estate investors, right? That sounds good. That's exciting to me. Sometimes you'll see these investor specials, and you can have your realtor do a search for you just to say, hey, send me every seller that says that they're motivated, right? And I'm getting in my email inbox all the time, price reduction, right? You're seeing that all the time now. As before you didn't see that. So this is a great time, I think, for buyers to get in the market before they raise interest rates yet again. And now when you can get in without a bidding war, and I can do a search for you, my buyer friend, for everything that says motivated, okay? So exciting and fun time. So for the Dallas market, so this is the August data for the Dallas market, This is pretty good. I'm really impressed with how well Dallas performed last month. Average price, $501,000. No one's feeling sorry for you, right? Right? Now, of course, you need to earn 40% more to be able to afford that property. But average price up 14%, median price $415,000, up 15%. Days on market are up, but still 25 days. That's nothing, okay? In a normal market where we have 4 to 6 months of inventory, this number might look somewhere between 60, 70, 80 days. So even though it's up versus last year, know that it's still not a whole lot. Sales were down. They were down 10% versus the same time last year. And remember, guys, 2021 was a blowout of a year. So don't look at that number and get like nervous about that. it's still very strong. And think about it, people are thinking like, well, where should I put my money? Should I put it in the stock market? Should I put it in real estate? Real estate's the one asset class that is still going up. Pending sales, our closest leading indicator of what closed sales will be next month, down 17%. Why is that? Again, many buyers have started to lease. Look at the leases. Leases are up 25% year over year in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, and lease prices are up 9% a year. The average lease price in the DFW area, $26.19. Now, let me just caveat that. These are for the properties that are leased on the MLS. Okay, there are plenty of apartments. There are plenty of for lease by owner that never hit the MLS, and I would say the majority of those are significantly lower than this 2,600 number that I've listed here. These are just the ones listed on the MLS, but it is relative because it's comparing to the same number last year. So the forecast as we start to get into the fourth quarter of the end of the third quarter and into the fourth quarter of 2022, sales are going to be down year over year, but again, 2021 was a blowout year. I don't know how we did so well, considering the lack of inventory that we had. We had about a 1 month supply of inventory last year. But even though sales will be down, the average prices are still going to be up, again, because we still have such little inventory. Now, while we have increased inventory in Dallas by 68%, it's still not enough to handle the buyer demand that we have. So that's why we're going to continue. Prices are a function of inventory and demand, and we still have decent demand, but we still have incredibly low inventory. So that's one of the things that's going to continue to have us bounce up. Now, guys, I am not going to show, I'll just very quickly jump through. I'm not going to explain these just because the Houston numbers should be coming out today. So this is the July data for Houston, but their average price was up. Their sales were down, very similar to the DFW market. Austin, again, this is the July data. The August data should be out any day now. Their average price was up in Austin. Their average sales, Austin's been getting hit the worst. Average sales down 28% year over year, but the median price up 9% to $645,000. No one's feeling sorry for Austin, right? San Antonio, again, very quickly, average sales up 12%. The total sales down 15%. But you can see in many of these markets that the leases are up. The leases are up. So good market to be in, good market to be in. So guys, that was it for the market update. That gives you some kind of idea of what's coming next and what this market looks like. The other benefit that I will tell you that this Texas market has over, for example, a California market is what? Everyone is still moving here. Because are we making jobs? We're making a lot of jobs. Are companies moving here because they don't want to be in the crime or the taxes or the politics of some other states? And the answer is yes. And do we think we're going to continue to have that same thing happen to us? So yeah. So I hope that gave you an idea of what's going to happen next when it comes to the real estate market.